I'll open it up for public input. Elissa?
I was wondering what the date is for Steve Wingate's tour.
He said sometime in November.
Oh, so it's not till November.
Yeah, probably a Saturday.
Okay. So with the transfer station, the site coordinator calls Tuftonboro's process counterproductive. But when you give them the rules and regulations, you will be giving the rules and regulations that are based on Clay's understanding of what a household is.
Yes, and what we as a town, what our policy will be going forward,
And
so that it's clear on both sides.
So what that means is someone has to go to the station, pick up a slip,
A coupon.
a coupon. So they go to the hazardous waste facility, and then they find out they have a little more than 10 gallons or whatever. So they have to go home with that? Or do they pay more for that?
We should be able to pay. But
So,
we'll clear that up with,
Sure.
Sarah.
so there are fees for all these various hazardous waste materials?
That would be brought to their facility.
Okay, so someone would say, this is your 10 gallons of whatever it is.
Right. And that's all the town, we're proposing that
The
we'll
town will
be
pay
paying.
for that.
We're paying.
Okay. Anything else is on their dime
Right.
based on fees that the hazardous waste.
Their
process-
fees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she has, my understanding is she has a schedule
Yeah.
down there. In other words, if somebody that comes in that's not from a member town to dispose of stuff, she knows what to charge them for disposal.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So-
prior to us entering into this agreement, our people went to Wolfboro. And then we reimbursed them. But they had to pay.
Okay. So your budget could be less than 4,000. If those shits are not used up by the number of households, someone could have one of those coupons sitting in the kitchen drawer, so you will have unused.
Right.
So the town stands to save some money,
And that gets rolled over. If we have money left over, it gets rolled over into the next year.
but your residents will be paying more.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
If they bring in more than a household's worth of
Mm,
waste, which they define as 10 gallons.
yeah. Okay. Well, I have another meeting that I have to go to. Not that I don't want to listen to everyone, but
What a fun evening.
out of town.
Sue?
I have a couple of questions. First, what is a JPR?
Job performance review.
On your minutes, you have a couple of things. On page 2, the 5th paragraph, it says if someone comes in to buy a lot, it was agreed that Ms. Koch will put the purchaser in touch with the sexton who will assign the next available lot. I apologize if that's the way it came across. It really, she'll put the purchaser in touch with the trustees. The sexton doesn't assign the lot. He would be the one who would go show them where it is once it's assigned.
So that'll be reflected in today's minutes, correction of this.
And on the last paragraph on that page, you corrected by deleting as they are private roads. But in the second line at the right-hand end of that paragraph, it also calls them private town roads. And the word private should be,
We will note that also.
that should be
Sure.
deleted.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything today about any follow-up regarding the auction and what lots will be on it. I see in the paper that something about that you voted on the list on August 1st. The actual August 1st minutes say that the selectman asked Karen to contact Rick Sager about removing PID 4133 Union Wharf Road from the town-owned auction, etc. Doesn't say anything about a vote. But anyway, have you discussed our conversation from last week? Have you made any decision?
No, we have none.
Do you plan to? Or are you just going forward without further information?
Is there anything else? Joe?
Couple things, Clay didn't finish today, he wanted to talk to you about, his phone calls. He's been playing phone tag back and forth with Time Warner, okay, trying to get something. He was gonna mention it to you, and I told him to give the contact number to one of you in authority. They may listen to you or they may not, okay? Two, while I was talking to Clay, I missed this computer guy thing. Didn't we get a group from Laconia to come in and take care of our computers and services? Or is this bid still open? I didn't understand this guy's position. The computer guy.
His position?
You know, is this something different than the other people we have from Laconia?
It's a different vendor that we,
Oh, that we're considering?
yeah,
Oh, okay, because I thought we voted monies towards it for a 3-year contract with that other computer company in Laconia.
Center
I
Harbor.
think you're thinking of the
Center.
website. I think you're thinking of the website, maybe?
no, we didn't vote any money.
No.
That was a 3-year thing.
Oh, he was here twice. Okay,
Well, we voted, yes, we spent $180. We did not vote on a contract.
oh,
He
okay.
did, he did some analysis work for us.
Oh, all right, but we didn't hire him.
No,
No.
no.
Okay, last but not least, everybody in this town, all the boards generally post their meetings and what's going on, okay? That's true for everybody. If you have a meeting, you post it, right?
Mhm.
My question would be the ZBA, okay, at least on the website. You know, I know people have been taking over, things have been happening, everything else. Can we get people to start posting their meetings, in that particular case, the ZBA? I'm interested in case there's something going on, okay? Was here last Tuesday, and you were still here, and they were having the ZBA moved across the street. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You mean the agenda?
Yeah, just let me know what's going on. That's all I want to do. I mean, I look at it every day, so I was just curious. The ZBA doesn't generally post. I mean, they're pretty good about putting it in the paper and so on and so forth, okay? But I was just looking for, and they haven't met that much this year anyways. I was just looking for some information that when it does show up, you know, at least I can see what's going on.
Well, tonight's meeting isn't on the website. It's not on the calendar.
The ZBA,
Right.
You mean tomorrow?
tomorrow
I
night.
mean tomorrow night.
That's correct. Well, that's one of the things, you
Is
know.
that what you meant?
Yeah, I just want to be informed of what's going on, and I thought we already settled this a long time ago with all the boards posting their meetings, that's all.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Good idea.
Oh, you go.
Okay.
One of the other things that was in the minutes from last week was that commenting about the lapse in time of me coming forward with my concerns. As soon as I saw the list online, I contacted Karen for an appointment. You didn't have a meeting for almost 2 weeks. I came in at the earliest available slot from the time I saw the notice online. It was nothing deliberate to cause problems.
have questions.
Yes.
Last week I asked you why we were participating in the New Hampshire retirement system and whether that was mandatory or not, and you didn't answer me. Do you know? Are all municipalities in that system? Is it voluntary?
It's not voluntary.
I did last week. I couldn't quite remember what the assumed rate of return was. I thought it was 7 3/4. I looked it up, and it had been 7 3/4. And they actually just reduced it to a much more reasonable 7 1/4, which is not reasonable. And they've actually. I also saw that the actual rate of return is 3.5, which even that I think is pretty good. So that's going to cost us. It's going to cost us a lot of money going forward. So I have no idea whether there are other options out there, but that is a big problem coming down the pipe because there's no way that that's going to get 7 1/4. I also asked you last week to think about the money that's appropriated for charities and appropriating it for direct assistance instead, because that's direct assistance. It's more targeted for Tuftonboro residents. And you also didn't answer me on that. So could you please answer?
I have nothing to say.
I'll work on that part of the budget when it comes forward.
So you won't dismiss it out of hand. I mean, it's something worth thinking about.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lloyd.
It is.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I also was wondering what you meant last week by the case law is very clear. You said it twice.
On what issue?
Carolyn quoted Rick Sager as saying that you cannot allow one person to speak and not anyone else. And you said that the case law is very clear. So
Yes.
I was wondering what you were referring to.
It's a First Amendment issue. Appearing, this is my understanding, appearing at a meeting to take notes or recording is right to know.
Right.
These technically are work sessions, and the people here are under no obligation to get involved in answering questions. They may. That is, to give an opinion is a First Amendment issue. It's not right to know.
That sounds good.
Editorial comment, I think the way to solve it is to make an appointment that people do and say, I'd like to talk about this issue, and boy, it really helps me when they do a little white paper so I can be prepared.
And send it to you like the day before or over the weekend. Or,
Send it here so it's official.
I mean, to everybody.
This is Lloyd Wood speaking now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm a guy who listens and isn't sitting there saying, well, I'm going to play judge for the defense and argue this. So,
Yeah.
you know, dialogue is healthy. But
Lloyd, does your
one of the things I could suggest is, please feel free to go to, like our chiefs, like Andy Shigori is up on the retirement.
Mhm.
I don't speak for him, but I've heard him speak and give talks, and he's very articulate. So is Adam, people like that. The other thing is, Carolyn or someone else is here every Friday to have a dialogue and help people out and whatnot. And, we do 1 or 2 people come in every week. That's 52, 60, 70 people that kind of feel that we're accessible. So, and it's relaxed and non-adversarial. So.
And Lloyd, does your email address for the town, does it have a period in it? Because there's something where I think your email addresses do have periods.
No. Mine doesn't.
But yours doesn't, okay, so I just wanna make sure. Thanks, Lloyd.
Good to see you smiling.
I wasn't able to be here for the beginning of the meeting. Did, Jim bring up whether or not the roads are gonna be painted with the center line and?
They're done.
They're done? Okay, trying to think, I haven't gone across any of it, all right.
Durgan, I can vouch that Durgan.
And Union Wharf got done too then?
I haven't driven
I
down,
must have missed it.
there. I'm sorry, I remember I did have another question that had to do with Jim. And you've talked about this a few times, Beach Pond, the access there are a bunch of stones there now. Who put those in, do we know? Did Jim put those in, or? I know you guys have discussed this a few times at a couple different meetings, I just can't quite remember.
I don't know.
I don't know, because
I could find out.
there. My understanding is that the landowner had them installed to prevent people from running trailers across his property down
Oh,
the
the-
water.
The property owner wanted, okay. I thought, so the property owner is fine with people putting in canoes and stuff and,
What I remember having heard, and again, this is, not directly from him, but third hand, is that he doesn't have a problem with people accessing the lake across his property. He does have a problem with people running trailers across his property. So if you bring a canoe or a kayak or something and you want to put it in there and you carry it across and put it in, that's fine. It's the running trailers across his property, to launch boats, to drop bomb houses and that sort of thing that he takes exception to.
So the rocks are in the town right of way. Apparently nobody's concerned about that?
We are,
Yeah, there is a concern about it.
we are concerned.
Right. So I think there are a couple of issues here. One is the guy doesn't want people putting boats across his property into the water. And the rocks were installed to prevent that. Now, where they were installed, it appears is they need to be moved.
so does he have to move them, or if he put them there? Or we move them and bill him?
I would think so.
Yeah.
So I just got a little note from Karen. Do we want to vote on the IT vendor?
I'm comfortable
I am.
doing that, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I move that we hire Computer Port to provide our IT services, and that we purchase an initial block of time, was it 20 hours?
20 hours.
And begin working with them to.
I'll second that and ask you a question. I second that. And what is that block gonna cost us and where does it come out of?
1,700.
And where does it come out of?
There we go. You have any more money in your milk for it?
I don't have a copy of that.
Can I suggest contingency, because this is an anticipated expense, but I don't think we have to decide tonight.
We do have to recognize that we do have about $40,000 left over in fire. The truck payment, or no, on the central station payment,
That was,
because we moved money, we had money left over from the bond.
now is that covered by the warrant article, because we put the 37 toward the
Well,
payment?
that's in, no, that's not, no longer in the article.
Right.
That was just an appropriation, and we took it from somewhere else because we had leftover money.
Right.
I would be happy to go through the budget and find a recommended place.
It's just that we're getting down, the last third of the year, and I'm the type of guy, I wanna be vigilant on spending and making decisions when
Right.
we've already, pointed out, you talked to Ben and whatnot. I wanna be consistent and fair.
Sure.
I move the question.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anything in the non-public we need to read?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
No, no. I think it's all, the welfare committees, we're all up to date.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I just proved I'm not very.
Well, you get some questions to see.